beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people and fellow winers, and welcome to another episode of a little something number two. Wine about with your hostesses, with the toastesses, Siobhan Camille. Hello.
And Tiny Show.
Y'all know sips get real and we wine as we wine. This one is about to get real, super real because
people are stupid.
These are based on, listen, last week and this week are based on a true story.
Which is correct.
Like, stop, based on a true story, pulled from the headlines. Like, we on an SVU episode, let me tell y'all. So, it's one with the guys. We got one of the guys. Y'all know him.
With the guy.
So it's one with the guy. It's, for those who are listening, just come on over to YouTube. You can see the whole thing. To see him, see us. It's the cameraman turned producer turned
the friend. It's he
and
got
now he just
the guy on the couch. Guy on the couch.
That's not what I put you. I put you as Casimir, but I guess if we just call him the guy on the couch. He's not a guy on the couch because if y'all don't know, we are no longer
the regular schmegula degular extra co-host.
But he here. We still love him.
The guy on the couch.
So he's the guy on the couch.
Everybody needs a guy on the couch.
Everybody's guy on the couch.
Everybody needs a guy on the couch, Lord. Okay, so we just gonna talk about something real, but before we get there, I just remember, don't drink and drive. Grab a glass of your favorite red, white, rosé. Join us on the couch. Drink safely. All of that.
Okay. And yes, please do all of that. And this month, for the month of September, we are having a white September. So grab your white wines, drink along with us. If you don't like white, grab what you like. Oh, bars. Y'all know this is the part where we have our popping grapes experience. So I go first. I have a Starling Castle Riesling, and it's a product of Germany. I ain't had it before, so I'm about to taste it. That's what it got. What about you, Sissy?
So we have a Sauvignon Blanc because, you know, the man on the couch likes Sauvignon Blanc, so I figured I would get this for him. It's by Clos de Bois, I think is how this is. It's out of California. It's a 2022, so it's fresh. Some young grapes. They young. These baby grapes. But that's what's supposed to be for white.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Or baby grapes.
These baby grapes. Yeah. So that's what we got over here. I got the glass. He got his transference cup. All right. Background for you all with us at home, at work. Okay. So here's the thing. Y'all know this summer I took to dating. Okay. I will say in my
okay, let me tell y'all. So Siobhan, you're fired. You can no longer take to dating, and you're gonna bring us back this nonsense. But go ahead.
I thought I needed to pull this one up. Just go back.
I'm gonna pull mine up too. For 3 months, I've had good or decent experiences. I've only met two people in person. Three.
Baltimore.
Oh, I met 3. I forgot about the dude in Baltimore. Sorry, I forgot about both. It was one day. He forgot
about him.
That was back in like June. Then the second was the Irish guy that I still do kind of talk to. I don't know what's going on with that at the moment. Then there was this French Arabic dude. He was cool too, but we just were different places in our lives. He was about to be traveling the world. That's not where I'm at, right? Yes, but not to his level. Cool. And I say that because I want to preface and say,
I won't pull up.
That I've been fortunate not to meet dudes that aren't completely trash. Okay. So in my 3 months, this here past week, y'all, 7 days, the ring, this guy hit me up. And it was one of those things where in the immediate first moments, I knew this ain't it. Just even off the message conversation. It proceeded to be a 5-hour back and forth. And the only reason I even kept it going is because I was screenshotting as we went for the purpose of putting out there to young ladies of a couple reasons. Number one, I'll get to why I kept the screenshot at the end, because I'm bringing this up because the whole time, the man on the couch, I was telling him the entire conversation as it was going, all of it. And he was like, what? I then sent selected screenshot to my sisters. This one you see here, Eureka, who's been on here, and the husband. And I compiled all of these, put them in a Google Drive. Y'all, if you want to see this full conversation, put the link to the entire conversation that I put in.
It won't pull up for me right now. I'm upset.
Man, I don't even think I have it on my thing, but I will send it. It's going to be on YouTube. The link is in the comment. I mean, the link is in the description. So if y'all think I'm joking about what was said, I'm not joking. Okay? This dude went from, let me tell you the highlights of this conversation, y'all. First and foremost, this man repeated multiple times that women are only good for sex. That's it. This statement was made multiple times. Then later continued to say and blame single mothers for a lot of stuff that came up. Single mothers are the fault of all of this stuff. Single mothers and the government. When I brought up to him, well, if you think that women are only good for sex, and so women, especially if you're older, mind y'all, I'm 36. I'm bringing up my age right now because it's relevant. I'm 36. He was 30, I think. So we knew this in swipes, okay? So he basically was a 30-year-old who knew that I was above 35 and wanted to shame me and tell me that older women, and I quote, older women shouldn't make it so hard. Men shouldn't have to work for it. We should just be handing them sex like candy, essentially. At this age, I should just be a hoe. But then if I were a hoe, that's a bad thing too. But women are only good for sex. Y'all, when I tell you, that's what I mean. You don't believe me? The link is in the description. And with that, I have waited because I know how I felt. I have waited to have this conversation with my sister. The man on the couch, we had it, but I'm here. I need him here as a man's opinion. I also sent it to a couple of other guys that I know who were like, what in the world? This man is a lost soul. But I'm going to leave the floor. That's the background. Y'all go.
First of all, when my sister sent me this, I read the first screenshot. Didn't even read the rest of it. My comment to my sister was, this is stupid.
That is what it said. That is what it said.
I said, one, I was literally on my way to the beach, so I was already in like, woo, sin mode, woo, and ding ding, oh, Sissy sent the message. This is stupid. I don't have time. Like, literally. That was my comment. Now, granted, I read the rest. It was just like, so I read it. The husband's beside me because he's driving, and he's like, what did Siobhan say? I feel like she only sent it to me. I said, no, she put it in the group chat. He was like, oh, okay. So I was first of all, the language barrier. I'm saying language barrier because I know my sister speaks multiple language, and that's a thing. The other part is, if it wasn't a language barrier, baby need to go back to school. Because the grammar issues.
It wasn't a language barrier. It wasn't. I'm going to put that.
I was like, what? So, ironically, the husband goes, I know what he means, but that's not what he's saying. I think what he's trying to say is, as he's talking, I'm looking like, are we trying to relate? Or are we making excuses? Are you trying to like support your fellow man? What's happening? He was like, man, I don't know.
And that brings me to, I just want to real quick say, ladies and gentlemen, because this goes for both genders, you don't have to defend everybody that's put on your team. We don't choose our gender. We don't screw what people want to tell you. We don't choose our sexes, okay? We don't choose our genders. You don't choose to be man or woman. You don't choose to be part of that team. I'm a woman, and every woman, I ain't gonna support what they do. I'm gonna say that's her. I know she crazy, and I need men to start doing the same. Stop claiming. Well, I mean, because what he meant. Stop trying to defend somebody just because y'all both have a penis. No, I'm not gonna defend this to some chick just because we both have a vagina and we menstruate. No, 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 no. Okay,
So
you don't have to.
there was that, and I was like, so. One, were you raised by a single mother?
There was a lot of bitterness towards
because the way that I read that, I heard a lot of resentment toward women. Did your mama beat you? Did your mama neglect you? What's going on? Or did your mother actually care for you and you just hated her because your daddy wasn't around? Like, what's your background story? It sounds like there's a lot of hurt and anger and some issues going on with you. What's up there? That's one. Two, is that what you're gonna tell your daughter if you have
one, or a bunch, because he believed in sister wives.
But he doesn't believe in sister wives. Remember, he was against it, but then he was for it.
I just feel like he was a big contradiction. Like, y'all know I call myself a contradiction. Like, I will second talk, reverse myself all the time. But I know what I mean, and I think for the most part y'all can understand what I mean. But that was just stupidity. Like, now it wasn't even stupidity, because stupid means slow to learn. That was dumb. Like, that was dumb, ignorance, hurt. Like, what? It was a lot of conversation like, oh, well, because women only look for, men provide loyalty. This was the part that killed me. When men show loyalty, what do you say? Through what?
Basically financial. That's it.
Yeah, through financial. Through providing financially. I was like, that's loyalty? Paying a half of bills? What? That's not loyalty. And women show loyalty through sex.
Through being monogamous. Yes, hold on. I gotta get this.
And I was like, wait. Just the drive. I got questions.
Look, I have questions.
So, okay. So are you saying that, it's not in a man's nature to be faithful to just one? Their loyalty is their faithfulness, and they show loyalty only through financial, and women show loyalty only through sex. Oh. I was like, well, damn. That's not even a transactional relationship. I don't know what that is. And I would hate to. I see why you on this app, sissy runaway. Like,
and this is the truth. The only reason I even engaged the rest of this conversation, because I knew it was going, was because as it was going, I was taking screenshots. Because y'all, I needed to. I'm gonna start at the beginning, okay? Because it started out typical. It was me. I sent a gift because that's my thing. He said, "Hi, how are you?" I said, "Good, how are you?" He said, I'm good. What are you looking for?" I said, "Good conversation." Y'all, that's it. Let's start there. He said, "Why are you single? What do you have time for?" Let's fast forward. He said, "I'm open to see what happened. First, we got to make sure we can communicate, have respect, and sexual chemistry." I don't disagree, y'all. These things are important. My question was, so sex is a requirement. I'm just trying to figure out what your requirements are at this age and stage. I'm not saying one is good or bad. I'm trying to figure out where you at. He said, why are you going to be with someone long term if you don't like, I'm amending, okay? If you don't like to have sex with them. Again, I don't disagree on principle. A challenge. I had a problem with one, speed, because y'all, this was all within like the first 10 minutes. But then it led me to this question. Are you traditional or modern? Are you a traditional or modern relationships kind of guy? Because as we said on this podcast, and as I've seen in the world, it's a whole lot of dudes saying they want traditional X, Y, and Z, but y'all so quick to go sex everybody premaritally. So he said, I need a woman with a high sex drive. I'm both. I said, okay. Oh, gotcha. That's not me. We kind of left it, y'all. Okay. If any woman or man is like, listen, what you're looking for, I cannot provide, then you can just go, toodles, thank you for your time, no hard feelings, whatever. He proceeded to tell me, you're going to have a really hard time finding a hard time finding a guy you really want. Men only want 3 things: food, respect, and sex. If you can't offer that, you might be single for the rest of your life. I mean, no disrespect. I'm just saying. My response to that, I'm not disrespecting me at all. All men aren't the same, and the guy I would want more. Food and respect can be had without a woman. So basically, women are just there for sex based on your list of what men want. He said, I'm telling you, if you want a man, they want those things. Sex is very important to a man. Depends on the man, was my response. He said, this is why they go for young. Now we get into the whole, this is why they go for it. My thing is this: if you've already established that what you want somebody with a high drive, whether I have a high drive or I don't, if I'm telling you that I don't have a high drive, then we are just not compatible. And it's fine, because as a boy told me, thank you, Dax Watson, 2000, and I don't even remember, freshman year of high school, this man said one of the most profound things to me that stuck with me through life: you are not compatible with everybody. Period. So you don't have to try to be compatible with everybody, because you're not. So if you want a high sex drive and I don't have that, then that's what it is. Like, we go our separate ways, not you. And this was pretty much the rest of the conversation, was in some way or form trying to shame me because of my age, because he kept bringing up younger women, men go after younger girls, men go after younger. Then he brought up the whole passport boys, guys go foreign because you American chicks. Stop trying to shame women into being who you want them to be, because they're not who you want them to be, but they're who you want. Because obviously you want me sexually, but I'm not who you want in a general. So you're trying to shame me into, be easy. I'm not an easy person. But that is just the beginning. And like I say, y'all, it goes very on to him telling me I have masculine energy, because I'm just giving you a man's perspective. As if in my 36 years, I have not heard from any man ever. And when I was like, I have 3 brothers, I have a father, I have uncles and cousins. Oh, you got too much masculine energy. That's why you'll never find a man.
So wait, so which one is it though? Like, what did you say? Pick a side. Is it because of my masculine energy? Is it because I'm too old, or men or girl for younger women, or like, what is it? Because I don't want, because sex isn't gonna be the motive. Like, which reason is it that I won't have a man? Like, wait, come on, explain it to me. I won't have a man. And Marsha, I'm gonna let you talk from a man's perspective, because I literally, you know what this sounds like to me as we talk about this? I literally just watched a TikTok and I had to turn it, because verbatim what you just said is what this man on TikTok was trying to tell this young lady. That she was 30 something plus with a child, just one. She was focused on her child, her career. Guy she was dating or talking to, dealing with, she called it effing around with, was like, pay some of her bills. Wasn't a requirement. She was paying her bills. He just opted to pay. She let him pay. And he was there trying to tell her that, she was like, well, he was like, so why isn't he the one? And she was like, because I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be anything serious right now. And so, and he understands that, like, we fully understand where we are and we're okay with it. And he was like, see, that's the problem. That's where you wrong. Men, I'm speaking in general, are only going to pay bills. And no, if a man is paying all of your bills, she says, stop, he's not paying all my bills. I'm gonna pay all your bills if they really want to be there. And you devalue yourself when you're up in age, you have a child, when this man can go get a younger one who don't come with all that. I was like, and she was like, and if he wants to, he can. But when I'm ready, he was like, oh, so you think you can just flip the switch, and when you're ready, a man of good quality is going to just come and be ready and available? She said, yes. But that's her belief. And some women believe like that. And for some women, it happens like that. But this man was trying to tell her that I'm telling you how men think. We are not going to just wait around for you. She's like, I'm not asking him to wait around. Who said that he's even going to be the one? And I was just like, true. And he was like, no, you're not listening. Like, it was a whole thing. I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, he's not listening. He's dumb. And she was like, well, you can't speak for all men. Like, all men aren't the same. No. She was like, no, all men aren't the same. You have some men who are in single father and they're raising their kids. So what? Their mindset is going to be like yours?
I just texted you.
Oh, and like, it was a whole back and forth. She was like, I met different men with different mindsets, and everybody's mind. You telling me that your mindset, what you're saying to me, speaks for every man? She was like, I find it very hard to believe that your comment is so general that we can literally apply it to everybody. No, I was like, screw. Let me get off this.
I'm gonna let the man on the couch.
Yes, please, because you
had the whole conversation from the beginning to the end, from the
Okay. So I'm gonna start off with two.
Because you didn't believe men like this existed until I came around.
Let me tell y'all what I grew up around. I'm not gonna say real men because unfortunately, this day and age, real men is defined by whatever you want to define it by. Some women believe that real men have a true feminine side. There are some women out there. There are some women, there are some people, there are men that think real men want men. You get what I'm saying? So it's defined by whatever your lifestyle is. So I'm not even going to go into that. I think a man should be able to provide on some level, but that depends on the situation because some men are stay-at-home fathers, and that's what they're providing. They're providing, their lifestyle around their kids, babies, young, whatever. That's what it is. I'm going to start off by saying this. I heard it was a TikTok earlier today. It came through and it said something. It was Kevin Samuels on it. I don't really listen to this dude. Every now and then he may hit a good point, I guess, but everything that I hear, it doesn't work with my life. But one of the things that he stated, he was on the phone with this one woman. I don't really know her position or whatever, but you can hear her comment. And he's like, I guess it was on sexual value. Who has the higher sexual value? A 20-year-old man or a 20-year-old woman? 20-year-old woman. Okay. Who has a higher sexual value? 25-year-old man, 25-year-old woman. It's a 25-year-old woman. Who has the higher sexual value? 30-year-old man, 30-year-old woman, 30-year-old woman. Once it got there, who has the higher sexual value? 35-year-old man, 35-year-old woman. And it turned. Now, I don't know the statistics. I don't know who said, but from there, it pretty much stated that a man's value keeps going up after 35, so on and so forth, and a woman's value only exists within 10 years. And I'm stating that because there are people that believe that. And they go out in the world looking for that 10-year value. I'm still new to this stuff. It was never about age when I was coming up. It was never about age. That's not what that was. It was about quality. It was always about quality. The quality of your woman you're dealing with, whether she's 21 or 45. What's the quality of her? Because you can be 45 and still out in these streets, and there are some people that I believe that's going to be 45 and still ain't got a clue out in these streets. We'll leave it at that. I'm sure we could name some names, all right? Still talking about, either A, I want some kids someday, or, I'm working on getting a house. And you know what? It is what it is. If you're 45 and you're still trying to get a house, get that house, man. Go for it. I got you. All right? All I'm saying is we're listening to society and what they are presenting
is a lie.
As a social standard or as a life standard on what we should be shopping for. Now, that being stated, I also heard this is the second one, where I guess it's the guy's podcast. I don't know. He was talking to this woman, and her question to him was, would you be with a millionaire single mom? And the guy said, to be honest, most men would rather just have the single woman instead of having the single mom with $1 million.
Ego.
Now, she got upset, but this is what he stated. He said, I have too much to lose. And he's like, I'm not even talking about my personal. What I'm talking about is, if I get with this woman and she has a child, this child clearly isn't mine. I have no rights to this child. I have no rights to her. Let's say things don't work out. She leaves, child leaves. What if we have a bond? What if we have a bond? What if I have a bond with this child? Because she's so mad, she's out, child's out. I lose the woman, I lose the child. He said, now this is just coming from me. I don't want that. At least with the single mom, we don't work out. Hey, you go your way, I go my way. We figure things with the single woman. With the single woman.
Okay.
You go your way, I go my way. It's a love loss, but guess what? You move on, I move on. But now I'm running into issues where I have, I'm sure he was like, if I'm a millionaire, she's a millionaire, I'm sure there'd be a bond somewhere, with her and the child. I don't want to lose her and the child. I'd rather just step in a situation with just the single mom. With the single woman. But he's like, but that's just my thing.
Okay, but we asking your thing.
Right.
Not all these TikToks.
Well, I'm stating that because she got up and left. She was upset behind it. She left. The problem is, and with this guy that I'm seeing is, whatever thought that he had in his head, he was living it to the point where she's throwing back questions like, okay, so you're telling me what you're saying is X, Y, and Z? And he would respond or reply with, yes, because of 1, 2, 3. Has nothing to do with what he stated. All he was doing was reciting everything that he heard on YouTube, TikTok, social media, or whatever. He had no reasoning behind it. But he's listening to whatever's being put out there. And you can tell because he even said, I watch a lot of YouTube. Or I saw that on YouTube.
Let's do a prime example. This was his question to me. We are beginning middle of this conversation. He has already told me that single women, he's already going the litany, and here we are. So he asked me, are you interested in me? I said, I told you in the beginning, I don't have a high sex drive. And you proceeded to tell me that basically my only value is between my legs. And given my age, I shouldn't make men work for sex with me. I should just give it to them or they'll get a younger or foreign woman. But wouldn't having sex with a man without making him work for it make me a slut or a hoe though? And those women are very much not respected in any culture. He said, laugh out loud. It's all true. Women do not understand your job is to get the best guy you can while you're young. To which I said, so you confirm that to you, a woman's only value is what's between her legs. He said, as a man, it's different. You got to earn it and work for what you want. No, woman only has sex to offer. I said, but you said earlier that older women don't have to make men work for it. So what is there to earn, basically? He said most women, but only a select few have more to offer than the others. Older women, unfortunately, do not face reality until they get no attention, but some still do due to their body. Big ass, big tits. But older women who do not have body get no attention. To what I said, so that's why you're in my inbox. You think because of my body and because you think I'm attracted, I should be so thankful for your attention that I just give you sex. The funny part is men also care about women's body count. But if I had sex with every guy who I thought was cute, or any woman for that matter, and offered me sex, I'd be a slut by age 22, as would most women. Then he said, oh, I'm just seeing where this goes. Yes, we do care about that. The more bodies a woman has, the more mental disease. It's a known fact. Look at the females on OnlyFans. They're mentally unstable, all this other stuff, right? But see, that contradiction. But it goes back to what I said. This is when I said this, let me be clear, because I know people are like, why would you engage in this whole conversation? For this one purpose right here. When I sent this out to everybody I sent it to, I said this one thing. I said, listen, to the fathers out there with sons, do what you can so that your son does not become this person. To the fathers out there with daughters, help your daughter avoid this type of man. To the women out there with sons, same thing. Help your sons not become this bitter and help, whatever. To the women out there with daughters, to the parents out there with daughters, please help your daughters avoid this type of dude. And to the women out there dating, acknowledge these men are out there. This is your warning. This is what it looks like. I did this as a warning. This is what it looks like. This is how you avoid it. Know what you're talking. See where these conversations go and all of the stuff. And to the men out there, understand that even if you're a good man, to the good men out there, understand that these dudes, loud, proud, and in numbers. And so while you may not be that person, understand that the woman that you're dealing with has probably dealt with more of this type of dude than you. So when you come to the table and she's annoyed and like, what do you want? Understand this is why. It's really not personal. It's called self-protection at that point, especially the older that she gets, because women are largely told, even though you may not have heard that as a man, once you hit 30, your stock starts plummeting.
Oh, yeah, because your biological clock, you hear it, they make plenty of movies about it. Your biological clock is ticking. You won't be able to have children, and men want children. Do they? Because statistics,
a lot of dudes
statistics show something else, but
a lot of
they choose to leave. And when they leave, most of them don't take the babies.
It's not even that. It's not even that. A lot of the dudes I've seen on Bumble don't want kids. A lot of dudes I've seen on various dating apps put up the do not want kids thing. They don't. A lot of dudes don't. In addition to, but it still speaks to a woman's number one purpose in this world is to birth children. And have,
which is why they're trying to reduce us into birthing people.
Correct. But that was what was said later was, it's always funny to me as well, because this dude later on said many times throughout this conversation, in addition to saying that women, as much as he said that women are only good for sex, he just as equally as much said, these women don't understand that, you're going to be old. You're going to be old with no babies, no man. You're going to be old with no baby, no man, and cats. They're going to be old with baby, no man, no cat. When I tell you that he said this thing at least five to six times throughout the course of this conversation, and I asked him, as I asked men, why does that bother you? If I'm 35 plus, y'all. If I'm 35 plus, and the life decisions that I've made up until this point lead me to a role, to an end where I'm single with no children and a house full of dogs, because I don't really like cats like that. House full of dogs. Why do you care? Why are men so bothered or so pressed about what women do? Because it's not like you're saying this out of care and concern, like a parent, like, listen, if you do this, then you keep jumping on his bed, you're going to fall and break your neck, and I give a shit. If women keep doing this, they're just going to be single with cats. They're going to be single with cats.
Because society has given men permission, because society has put men here and women here. It's the whole...
It's control. I know it's control. My question is...
And do I value and understand the way God has things because of my faith and what I believe? Absolutely. However, he didn't say that one was better than the other. He said we was partners. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. We supposed to work together. He didn't say one was better than the other. Just because you up here don't mean that the person up under you is not valued. Like, and not important. Because let's be honest, without us, you won't be.
Right. Period. And the point I was trying to get to was the social media and just societal influence. These guys have a voice piece and people are listening to this. They're listening to that, and women, there are women that's listening to, oh man, I'm 36, my value is shot. Ain't never gonna get good little thing that come up that seems like he's got a little masculinity, or he seems like this or whatever. He can talk a good game. I got somebody go ahead and give it to him because my worth is down. And I believe that's why he came at her, because he was like, oh, she looked good. Oh, she got big titties. She got a nice ass. Hey, man, look, I'm going to talk her into submission. She gonna get
see,
something
that's the
because she's
other part.
36 and she older and her worth is down and this and that because of the Kevin Samuels and everybody else in the world that's constantly stating that.
Takes all of them.
Right. And my whole thing is the last time I checked, cougars are on a rise. I didn't ask your opinion right now. You can speak later. I'm just saying, but it's been on a rise for a long time because almost every man can tell you, oh yeah, I've been with a woman 10 years older than me. This is the reason why I learned certain things in life. When I learned certain things in life, I was in my 20s with somebody in their 30s, late 30s. So again,
but that will still go to but you only sex them, you don't wife them. And to that, I will say that's not necessarily true either. It all comes down to the person. Because I have met some people this here summer, and I've had a whole 31-year-old who I think if on my end I saw more of a real future and compatibility.
I wouldn't be sitting here on this podcast.
That's the real deal. And that dude is 5 years younger than me. Like, I don't have about my age. I'm not ashamed. It is unfortunate that so much of worth and value is put into the year you were born. The other thing I will say to that, and to the men out there, folk listening, and to the it's kind of to the ladies. I know it's a whining with the guys. It's kind of a hodgepodge of things right now happening. We talk for the people. Ladies, I will say this. I've always been a cougar. Y'all can ask anybody that knows me. I've always liked younger dudes. My thing, I always figured, because again, socially, younger dudes would not be interested in me. I've been wrong. And my only regret is that I wish at 30, I had been like, where the 25-year-olds? Like, I wish I had given that chance and space and opportunity, because you really never know. Yes, there are going to be dudes like this here 30-year-old who feels like a woman ain't worth X, Y, and Z anyway, but that's not going to be based on age. You just don't think women have value. Matter of fact, then later at the end of the conversation, he said he doesn't really respect anybody, male or female. So you're going to have those. So what was the point? You are still trying to control and manipulation. You just not going to be able to get me like that. And my screenshot in this is a warning to other women and to men of, don't be this person
out here, y'all. Period.
It's all of them. But my thing is, what I really want, I guess, everybody to do is just be more understanding of the fact that these dudes are out there. If you are this type of dude, I can't help you. I can't save you, because you in your own space world. I don't care to. I just care to expose you. That's it. But what I have learned in this summer of dating is that, aside from cougars on the rise, it's not just a sexual thing either. As far as dudes that are like, oh, she 36, let me smash that. First of all, find me any dude who's not interested in smashing somebody. I'll wait.
Well, see, my thing also to this is while he's making these statements and thinking that he is celebrating the male species, ooh, hoorah, yeah, all of that, you are actually diminishing the value of men. Men are people, like, they have feelings. Men don't always just want sex. Some men, they might not want to talk about the same thing women want to talk about, but they like conversation.
They want to be emotionally supported.
They want to be, right, great. They want to be friends with the person that the woman that they're choosing to be with. They want to be able to hang out. They want to be able to joke. They want to be able to do all of those things. And what he's literally saying is not bump all that. We don't care about none of that. We just want sex. No, that's not true. Do you not know? I feel like maybe in adolescence, and that's for some, not even all. Because you don't know what their past may have been. They may have been a man that was sexually assaulted, and now that's not his thing. He wants someone who will make him feel safe, and not in the safe of protecting, but as far as like standing in front and taking a bullet for them, but safe enough to feel certain things, safe enough to think certain things, safe enough to release other things. Like I said, some men, they want a true, like,
Partner.
homie. Some men want a homie, like somebody that come home and literally shoot the shit with. Some men, and that, speaking of the whole millionaire question that he was talking about, that's pure ego.
Yes.
If this woman who has a child and is a millionaire, so clearly she's successful, clearly she's smart, she's not asking you for anything. You wouldn't talk to her because what? And I love the mirage of, oh, I don't want to get connected to the child. And if it doesn't work out, that is a mirage. That is pure mirage. Is it true that that can happen? Absolutely. But if you go in thinking that, then you've already started wrong. So that's that. So, and do I understand? Well, yeah, you don't want to form a connection with someone, but if you with someone's child and then leave, no. But if you formed a connection with the mother first and you nurture that relationship, then that not necessarily will be the outcome of the relationship, because then you can still have that relationship that you have formed with the child. But then if this woman is most likely this successful, probably more than likely has a decent head on her shoulders, and she have formed a relationship with her child, 9 times out of 10,
that's a positive one.
It will let you keep that relationship with the child to a certain extent. But that's a good woman. So there's that. So the reason why you don't want to be with her and you rather be with the single one is because it's easier.
Facts.
Right. And
that's what it is. You're taking the easy way out. And I'm gonna just be honest, that's some chump shit. So that's my response to him.
I would say this. That's some chump shit. But I think the reason for his answer, because I've heard his answers on some other things, I think the reason for his answer is because she tried to push it like she's a millionaire. Because she said it like 2 or 3 times. And I think his thing was, millionaire or not, that doesn't change. If I'm not in it to be with somebody who has a child, then I'm not. And I think you're entitled to your opinion. He didn't push it like this dude. This dude was just pushing some wild stuff. You know what I mean? But my thing is, it's the social media influence behind it, because she really took offense to it. And I'm like, well, maybe she's the millionaire mama and she's trying to figure out why nobody wants to do it. That's just not the dude for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and that's why I said, I understand there are some people who truly feel like, yeah, I just don't want to form that connection with a single, all the way around. I don't care what she has. Yes. But in most cases, it's the ego
part of that is
because now you don't have anything to stand on in reference to the social lies. The man is the provider, because now you don't feel like financially you're providing anything for her because you're not needed. She is.
But to that point too, if I didn't hear it, if she's pushing, and this is going way beyond what we talking about, so I'm not even trying to go that far down this path, quite honestly. But what I will say is, it all comes back to social expectations and social standards.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's what that dude in TikTok was. That's what this dude on Bumble is. It's just how warped is your mind about this.
Right.
Because the issue with the dude on Bumble was, dude, you all over the place. You talking about single mothers. And every time I hit you with facts, he told me at one point, yo, Google it. So I Googled it. Google was against you. You said the majority of women or the majority of Americans or whatever are on welfare. I pulled the stat. 19% were on SNAP. 12.5% were on something else. I was like, in no way is that the majority. So the numbers are not on your side. And instead of admitting wrong, because a lot of people, especially men, well, I always say women too these days with their egos, can't admit fault or admit wrong. Because he said the U.S. had the highest number of single mothers. I was like, I call bullshit. I don't feel like that's real. I was wrong. So I had that admit. It's 40% in the country. That's the highest in any nation in the world. I was like, damn, I can admit that I'm wrong though. Why can't you? But you're so concerned about, as a lot of men, what women do, don't do, will do, gonna end up this, that, and the third. The whole social with her pushing, but she's a millionaire, is because at that point, I feel like this woman is basically trying to say what Michelle is. I don't need you. But I think it's reading differently because men are told they're supposed to provide. So part of him is like, I mean, I don't, because a lot of dudes I hear say, yo, I don't care what your income is. I don't care what you make. I think your average dude has to understand the same way I thought and this to a counterpoint to this dude, as a counterpoint to the dude on Bumble. I saw something on YouTube, which was a short on one of the things that we follow, and it was two dudes talking, and they were like, "Yo, in this day and age, a man can cook and clean. I'm not worried about if the woman, men don't, and this is I'll get there. Men don't care if women can cook and clean. Men care if they're gonna be there if a woman can provide what I can't get for myself, which is to hold me up when I'm down, support me emotionally when I need it, do all of these things. Because as an adult, as a grown man, I cook and clean. Power to people on that, because y'all know that these two chicks on this house, we don't really cook. That ain't what we do. So power to them men for that. But what I will say is that's still relatively new. But that's why when dudes, the problem is with this guy and even with that guy, everybody's trying to speak for their gender and who gave you. And that was my thing that I said to this dude. I said, so you speak for 45 or whatever the number is. I would have to look through the scroll through the messages because I pulled the numbers. I am who I am. I said, so you speak for 4 billion. That's what it is. You speak for 4 billion men. There was a vote. They named you their spokesperson. That's what they did. Because at this point, the problem is every dude is saying, you got to do, men only want respect, food, and sex. Men don't think women are worth anything but sex. Men don't really value women for whatever. But on the flip side, then you got men don't care what you make. Men don't care about if you cook or clean. Men only want women that are going to be supportive. Men want a woman that's going to be, that's going to uplift them. Men don't care about nothing but a chick that could bend her ass up. Like, because everybody wants to play spokeswoman. And that's why on this podcast, we are very quick to tell you, we do not speak for women. We speak for us. We speak for women who may relate to us, but we acknowledge that's not 4 billion women because it's about even 4 billion men, 4 billion women. We are not speaking for 4 billion women. At best, we might represent 100. Okay? Maybe a couple thousand that we didn't poll, nice to represent y'all. But even that, because even on this podcast, we disagree. On the podcast we follow, those guys disagree. You were telling me about one you heard where the dude was saying something stupid and the other 4 jumped on his ass.
I can't remember, man. There's been a couple of them. Like, it was one dude that was like, yo, man, I'm done with this.
He got punched. The guy who got punched and they called him in front of his girl, he got his jaw knocked off and the chick shot him.
Oh, yeah. All right. So basically, yeah.
Wait.
I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you. So this dude walked in the restaurant. He was a big dude. Like, he was a big dude. He looked like he's probably eating cinder blocks. Like, he was a big dude. That's just what he looked like. He walked in and the guy's filming and he walked over to this dude sitting with his girl at dinner. And he hit him so hard, you saw his jaw go to the side. Dropped him. He just falls over and pushes him a little bit and sits down beside and starts rapping to the girl. And the girl goes in her purse, pulls out a gun,
shoots in the head.
Right in the head.
Yeah, because at this point, I don't know what you about to do.
That's what I said.
Right.
That's what I said.
And here's the thing. Like, he's trying to rap to it. I told you, your dude's a big this. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this is real or if this is a setup. I don't know. Because, all this stuff now, Hollywood is everywhere. Costs $25. You know what I mean? $25, you part of Hollywood. That's it. So my thing is everybody's making skits and stuff like that. I tried to look up everything behind it. I couldn't find this girl. I couldn't find the scenario, whatever. But the point of it was this dude felt so in his right to just walk up to a random couple, bother the dude or assault the dude, and think that the chick is going to claim him after this.
This even came up because later in this conversation with Bumble Dude, he said, I like Simps because he was like, would you want a virgin? And I was like,
That's what he said. He called the dude a simp.
Because I said, no baby daddies, no STDs. It could be worse.
Right.
If he was like, sounds like you want a simp, or you want a beta man, all this stuff. And I'm like, it's pros and cons to a virgin in any male or female. I'm not going to knock you if you are like, yo, I was following God and God told me keep it in my pants. Cool. You know, like, how values and morals to you in this society? Like, what, bro? My dude, I'm not mad at you. Now, I'm going to need to see it. before we can continue. I mean, I'm not gonna take you off your celibacy. This is gonna stop. I'm not gonna take you off your celibacy either. If you like a not till marriage person, cool. Because I know me, and if we do this, you're not going anywhere anyway. So, okay, I need to make sure I'm gonna be satisfied at least with the side. After that, I don't really care. But that's how this came up, was because the dude said that I wanted a simp, and Marshall was like, the guy called him a simp. Now these guys, I guess, watched the video and reacted to it, and I guess it was like 4 of them. And
one dude decided that he was like, I mean, I'm saying, man, because you know, simp ass dudes or whatever. And the rest of it was like,
he got sucker punched.
yeah. Like, he got sucker punched, number one. I don't know if he could defend himself or not, because he didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? You don't see it coming. Let me tell you, I fought some big dudes, I fought some smaller dudes. I've been surprised. But I'm just saying, my thing is, if you know it's coming, it's a whole.
Then you be prepared. Now, granted, his guard might have been like, "What the hell?" But that don't mean you don't think this man is about to knock me out.
But that was the other part that came up in the conversation, was a couple of the dudes, I guess, were like, you supposed to, the one idiot, you always supposed to be on guard. And this one dude was like, I can't enjoy a peaceful night with my woman.
And there it is.
But it's so much in society that's put in men and women's heads. I guess, and this is my wrap up. There's so much stuff that's put in our heads, male and female, that all I'm gonna say, this is a message to the good men and good women out there. We exist. We exist. We the good people of the world. We good women exist. Fellas, I'm telling you that we do. Women, I'm telling you that good men do. Mm-hmm. What I will say is, it's a lot of loud and wrong motherfuckers in this world, okay? Just loud and wrong. That doesn't mean even necessarily that they're in the majority, but what I will say, I'm gonna give y'all an analogy that I gave him when we were talking. And it's, imagine you at work. Fellas, this is for the fellas. This is for the fellas. We want to with the guys. Fellas, let me talk to you. Let me wrap. Imagine that you at work, right? You're in the IT department, okay? You're in the IT department. You got yourself together, and it comes off a conversation I had with a pastor, a sermon a pastor gave years ago, that was talking about God gave Adam Eden. He did not give him Eve or create Eve until Eden was set, until that man had a home. Build your home first. So if you're the type of man that's like, yo, I got to get me together. You in IT, you get your stuff together. And let's say you see Rosie. I don't know why her name is Rosie. Rosie the nosy neighbor, popped in my head. It is what it is. You see Rosie in the elevator and you like, oh, I got to have Rosie. You're not worried about Tanya, Tisha, Kat. You ain't worried about none of that. You want Rosie. Rosie works in marketing. She's one level above you. Y'all don't work in the same department. You in IT, she's in marketing. This is the world we live in, y'all. I'm simplifying it. Think bigger. Come on, it's an analogy. It's a situation. You go to IT, you getting your check, you asking people about Rosie. Hey, does Rosie like this? You find out, oh, Rosie likes, she doesn't really like the heat. You like, okay, cool. I'm gonna put an umbrella in my garden for Rosie to sit outside, but she got shade. You are trying to get your eating right for Rosie, okay? While you're doing that, Rosie doesn't know that you're doing that. She doesn't know that you've seen her, that you're interested in her, that you as a good man are trying to prepare for her. She's seeing you on the elevator. Oh, hey, IT guy. Hey, Rosie. Okay. And that's it. And it's that. But she goes to the marketing department. Well, guess who else is in y'all building? Contractors. Okay? Contractors who have come to fix the building. They on break right now. And they can just roam the building. They just roam in the building. They got nothing to do.
That seems perfect.
I really don't know. Oh, they contractors. They just roam in the building. They're indiscriminate. Hey, Rosie. Oh, hey, they in the marketing department. Then they down in the IT department. Then they over here in comms department. Then they down here in the sales department. They just running through the building, hollering at women. Yo, what's good? So over the course of this day, week, month, Rosie has had 15 to 55 contractors offering her the D. Nothing serious, just, hey, you look so good. Hey, Ma, haven't even bothered to learn her name. If they do, it's because, yo, Rose, oh, your name, Rose, yo, what's going on, Rose? Hey, all of this stuff. So she has constantly, well, what do you want? Oh, it's been a dude that's tried to do what this dude did. Shame her because, Rose, you ain't really that pretty. Oh, you gonna turn me down? You ain't really that pretty. Okay. Hey, Rosie, what's going on? I'm good. I mean, you over 22. How old are you? Like 25? You ain't gonna be worth nothing soon. So another dude comes to Rosie. Well, you realize if you wait too long, you losing 90% of your eggs. And that's another conversation because I have math for you young men who continuously like to tell women that they lose 90% of their eggs by 35, which is true they do. But please understand that your average woman starts with 1,000,000 eggs and will only have about 500 periods over the course of her life. Y'all do the math. If you can't, I'll do it for you later. You gonna lose 90% of your eggs. Ain't nobody gonna be there to take care of you. You gonna have a bunch of cats. You get all of these dudes trying to shame this chick into, or shame and manipulate and control her into doing what they want, which is basically being a sex toy. And she's pushed them down. So now you, IT guy, good man, finally see Rosie on the elevator after the end of this long ass day, or this long ass week, or this horrible quarter of dealing with all these contractors that have offered her the deed. So when you come to her, hey, excuse me, Rosie, can I get a minute of your time? And she's like, what do you want, IT guy? It's not personal. Also, please understand that a study was done that said that, 92%? 92% of girls aged 12 had, by the age of 12, 92% of girls, 12-year-old girls, have been offered or seen grown and adult dick.
Yep.
So understand that we as women, fellas, this is the trauma we already bring to the table. And we already told you, but this goes into our conversation last week when people say, don't tell men about your trauma up front. Understand, fellas, that most women are walking through this world traumatized from the time we were 12 years old because we've had grown men, pedophiles, offering us sex since 12 and being like, nope, 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 nope. Because again, trying to be hoes. On the same point, having people tell us, well, the older you get, the less value you're going to have. The older you get, the less value you're going to have. It's daunting, for real. It does a lot. In addition to all the contractors running through the building, okay? So by the time you get an IT man come to the table to a woman that's like,
don't even care.
We don't care. We're jaded.
Not at that moment.
To prove.
Yeah.
You have to prove. That's my personal opinion. That's my final word. And I will leave it to my sister and the man on the couch. Say what their final words are. That's all I got.
I'm gonna speak real quick, so you can shout and y'all can do y'all thing with the cheers and all that stuff. So look, all I'm gonna say is this: men, define your own destiny, define your own life, define what it is that you want. Don't give a shit about everybody else's life. One man can't speak for all of them, especially in a world where there's now 96 genders. Whatever that's all about, whatever that's all about. You know, you want to be a man, woman, man, cat, dog, llama, fish, whatever. I don't
Tootsie
care.
Roll.
All right, Tootsie Roll. Apparently, hey man, they are mad. Hey, look, they are mad at this one white dude who is identifying as a black lesbian. More power to you, dude. Work that system because they created it, live in it. Damn it, that's all I'm gonna say. Look,
I keep telling y'all, I identify as a white 80-year-old woman with a credit score of 800. Why y'all believe me?
Oh man, look, I identify as a man that stays on break but get paid. That's what I want. All right. So look, right, see? So all I'm saying,
every language. I'm friends with Genghis Khan. Yes, I know he was. Doesn't matter. I ruled the Roman Empire. I am y'all empress.
I've seen Jesus Christ in real life twice. That's gotta be worth something. That's all I'm gonna say. That's how I identify. Look, all I'm saying is, in this day and age, one man can't speak for all of them. It doesn't matter. My life is going to be different than a single dude, than a guy who has no kids. My life is going to be different, so I can't speak for a single guy that has no kids. I can't speak for a married guy that has no kids. It's going to be different. I can't speak for a black guy or a white guy that were raised in different conditions. You know, and I'm a reverse roles. A white guy that was actually raised in a rich or poor environment versus a black guy that was raised in a rich environment. That's going to be different. And I wasn't raised in either. I was somewhere in the middle.
In these countries.
You know, in these country streets. I wasn't raised in the city. So I can't speak for all men. I think my biggest issue is this dude was like, well, men like, and I'm like, you got gay men, you got bisexual men. their ideas are going to be different.
This dude literally said all men want sister wives. I said, well, what about the gay ones? I don't think they care.
Right. Right.
I don't think they care.
Right. You know,
I can tell you right now, my man don't want no other wife but the one he got, because I get on his nerves enough for 20.
I was about to say, you have men that swear up and down multiple women is the best thing.
Until they all gang up against you.
Right. And I'm one of those men that's like, I have a hard enough time remembering one woman's every whatever. I'd be damned if I want 2 or 3. Because I'm going to screw something up. Because sometimes I'm like, damn, did I eat this morning?
First of all, let me tell y'all, I have birthed one child and have raised a total of God knows how many.
Man, can't lost cause.
Their birthdays mixed up, okay?
Right.
So,
I call my kids the wrong name. I have looked at Logan and said,
like, do you not know?
you know damn well that's not right.
You know exactly what I'm talking. Get your girl here. Like,
all I'm saying is this dude, you know what? If that's your opinion, cool. But the conversation should have started as soon as you led in with, I need a woman with a high sex drive. And she says, I'm not the one for you. At that point, now you're trying to prove a point. Nobody knows what that point was.
Manipulation. Oh, I know it.
Because at the end of it, you would have thought he would have been like, man, fuck this bitch. Excuse me. I'm sorry if you got to edit that out. But again, his words and his approach, you would have thought at the end he would have said, F this bitch. She was like, I got to go. He was like, all right, beautiful. Huh?
He called me beautiful like 3 times throughout the whole thing in these
that in itself is, and I hate to say it, the toxic masculinity on full display.
So look, here's the thing, man. I don't understand the true definition of toxic masculinity, but I'm gonna say
it's literally just that.
If this is what that is,
it's literally that.
That is literally what that is.
You can't define that. That's crazy.
It's toxic masculinity.
This is crazy. This dude right here, dude, you look crazy. Can you see that on there? No, maybe I can lean it like that. This dude is crazy. His messages were crazy, and yes. It was odd reading this, but at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, this dude is all over the place. This motherfucker represent. Oh, I'm sorry, am I supposed to say
you
that?
can cuss, baby.
You're fine.
Avatar.
He did. That was the ending.
He referenced Avatar. Yes, the blue people, tall ass giant blue people. He referenced that. And look, hold on, I'll read it.
Okay.
Damn it, I pulled it up and I'll read it. This dude said.
He's going in the right.
Yes, I'm going in the right direction because I just saw it. This dude said, hold up, I gotta get to the bottom part. She said something about no, you have said more than enough. He said things cannot be fixed until we go back and become one with nature, like the Avatar movies. She said, no, he said that is about us. I don't know who the fuck us is.
I think he meant black people. Bro.
Maybe, but I'm still not sure that he's black. I don't really know what he was. I'm not going to put his picture out here. I ain't going to put his name. But then she said, yeah, but they had houses in Avatar and they were just in trees and I think mountains. I don't know. Only saw the first one once. Don't remember the details. But he really referenced a sci-fi. I guess it's not sci-fi, but it was a fictional movie.
Fantasy, sci-fi.
You know what I mean? That's what he referenced in his argument. So again, he's using social media, and entertainment as his resources.
Facts.
And you have several men out there like this. Women too. You have several people out there, but this one is about this dude. This one is about him saying that this is about all men. And that's impossible. It's impossible. All I'm saying is, dude, you should have cut this off early as soon as you said, I need a woman with a high sex drive. And she said, I'm not it and I'm not trying to be it. My bad. Sorry for bothering you. You have a good day. Hey, look, if you want to hang out sometime, cool. Maybe we can find some common grounds. Outside of that, this conversation shouldn't exist. And I guess it bothers me a little bit because I'm like, and this is our competition.
This is our the loud representation.
This is our representation and our competition at the same time. So when we walk into a conversation or on a date or in a situation,
this is what we are combating.
Women have dealt with this type of man on a regular.
That's what you're up against.
That's what we're up against. And some of them start to fall victim to it because they're like, shit, this must be true. And
this must be all that's out there. That's all you get.
But then you run into somebody like me, and the first question becomes, what's wrong with you? Or you must be lying.
The same goes with women, but yeah. And I also sent it to you because you got 2 daughters that are over. They are adults at this point.
And that's the other thing I taught and told my daughters early on, and they know it. And I'm glad that my oldest daughter, it sucks that she experienced something that I told her about, but I'm glad that I told her about it because she knew how to handle it.
She didn't walk into.
She was prepared, and it is what it is. Whatever happened, but she was able, and she was like, "Dad, you know what? You said this, and you said this, and
that's part of why I took these screenshots was for dudes like the husband and others who are raising 12-year-olds who are going to be potentially fall into that average, and but Sissy, let us know your final thoughts. Wrap us up. You know how to take us home. Come on, Michelle.
My final thoughts is this world is trash. Both men and women. Sometimes we all suck. And this is a prime example of sometimes we all suck. And we need to do better. Y'all, this is a prime example of mamas. This is why you're needed. Real mamas. We're on a real mama campaign this year.
Real daddies.
And real daddies. Okay. This is why they're needed. Dads that don't think like this is why you're needed. Villages. I know a lot of people have gotten away from the village, but things like this can be prevented if you have a healthy village, helping you raise your children. Sorry. This is why you're needed. This is things like this, the narrative that things like this set, or the narrative that it pushes, is sickening, it's saddening, and unfortunately, we have so many young people that will fall victim to this because they won't take heed to wisdom, because social media will tell them not to take heed to wisdom because they're so traumatized, because, this and this happened to them, and and if you don't listen to them, then this will happen to you, but that's not your story. But you try to relate and make it, and then you put yourself in a situation that you didn't necessarily have to be in because that wasn't your story to begin with.
Or it's the only story that they see on social media.
Or it's the only thing that you
hear. Yeah.
So this is the only thing that this is the stereotype. And the vision that you have of what's going on, and you don't see the healthy part of life. We say this all the time on this podcast. We need us to be realistic. I stopped saying common sense, and I've said this before, because everybody's comment is not the same.
Correct.
My comment is not your comment.
Indeed.
My sister's comment, like full blood sister, I've been here since you was born. Like, I remember when they told mommy you was a boy, but you was a girl. That. Like,
well, are we sure she's not really a boy? Sorry.
Questions?
I'm sure.
You sure it's not? You sure it's not Eric?
Sure too, but
I'm sure.
I don't know. So,
the niece and the nephew.
That. Well, these days.
I mean,
no. We're not God.
They got these tubes. I think we should call them test tubes. I'm just saying.
No. We got that type of money, man. We broke.
Hey, I love though. Nothing but love. And keep fucking with you, but nothing but love.
Type of money. Hold on, y'all giving my parents too much credit. Hold up. And then if that was the case, do you think it would have been with who she? Okay. I think there would have been some better decisions made.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I can't comment on that one.
What I'm saying is, y'all, everybody's comment is not comment. Like I said, even to my sister who's raised with me a whole night, her comment clearly is not my comment. So common sense to me doesn't exist. So people say, oh, it's common sense. It's not. And that's for these particular reasons, these different stories that we hear, these different scenarios that we hear, these different testimonies that we hear. is the reason why I say there's no such thing as common. What you need, find your circle, find your support group, find your where to get your wisdom. And if you don't have any of that, seek therapy. Go to a professional to help you work through what you need to work through before you start coming out here, getting a microphone and spitting foolishness just because you can. Everybody and their mama, cousin, sister, uncle, brother, and father has a podcast now. Protect your gates, your ear gates, your eye gates, protect them, value them, sometimes detach, and this is even from us being podcasters, sometimes detach and think a little bit. Think for yourself. I just need you to think for yourself and move forward. Pray about it, move forward, ask God. And that's all I got. Y'all, it's too much. Y'all, y'all be people and it don't be it's not. It's not.
People need to remember.
Coming to good life. Coming to good life.
My bad. I'm in the good light. I'm high lucky. So look, hey, just remember that at the end of the day, this is still all entertainment. It's entertainment. Make judgment for yourself.
I mean, hope y'all enjoy our conversations and stuff. And other podcasts, because they are good. They're good to fuel conversations, but you have to get multiple viewpoints. You cannot keep listening to everybody that's going, you. And that goes for guys too.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, thought process, lifestyle, so on and so forth. Even this dude. Because for me, it seems wrong. But if you find somebody that this works for, I don't know how.
Good luck to you and her, and or him, or them, or they, or whatever will call themselves. All of that. And my last note, and while we close this out, I'm going to tell you this one thing. My mama, my mama and my daddy used to tell me, everybody got an opinion. Everybody got an asshole. That don't mean you share the shit that come out of it.
Amen.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that.
No, that's what it is. An opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. But that does not mean you share the shit that comes out of it. I was like, oh, well, damn.
Right.
And there you have it. On that note, we'll say cheers to that, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this wonderful.
Wait, we gotta rate the wine.
I know.
Listen, that's usually how you segue to the end.
You had to lean back on.
I know we've been on breakish, but I'm good.
I'm gonna mind my business. Go ahead. Stop kicking this.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. Before we get out of here.
There it is.
This is the part of the show where we give you our cheers to that wine review, where we review the wines that we've had through this episode. So, share your rating.
So on the back it says,
our crisp and refreshing Sauvignon Blanc offers mouth-watering notes of citrus, melon, and white peach mingle with aromas of lemongrass and lemon zest. Oh, lime zest. My bad, lime zest. Enjoy chilled by itself or pair with your favorite salads or shellfish dishes.
It is also 13% ABV.
That's nice.
Nice. This has actually been a really good Sauvignon Blanc. I don't even remember what made me grab it. Honestly, y'all, let me tell y'all. I was in the store and I was like, Kendall Jackson. I wanted Kendall Jackson so bad. I wanted Kendall Jackson Chardonnay and they didn't have it. And they were like, up to the right. I was like, oh, okay. Because I knew he liked Sauvignon Blanc. The guys like Sauvignon Blanc. And they're usually, depending on how this wine out goes, depending on the guests we get, figured at least there's something on the table.
The husband is good.
That they're going to at least be excited about and looking forward to. So I was like, I'll get the Sauvignon Blanc. I really grabbed it like, but it's not bad. Honestly, this one is more citrusy as far as like the lime, lemongrass type thing than the grapefruit citrus. Okay. So if you're not a grapefruit Sauvignon Blanc girl like me or fan, because I know guys listen to this too, then I would say try this. The Clos du Bois Sauvignon Blanc is California. It does have a nice buzz to it for those who don't know or remember. The highest ABV of most wines is somewhere between a 16 and an 18, and a lot of those tend to come out of like Italy and France. So good luck. But so anything 13 we consider high here. So it's hot. It's hot.
Nice.
I'm concerned about the sugar in the morning just because it is a wine. And I know he and I have less tolerance for sugar as we get older. The headaches.
The headaches.
I also learned that with Stella Rosa, the headache. Okay. But but it was good. I think for me, especially for a Sauvignon Blanc, this is like a 3.5. Cause I usually get them things too. Like I can't, I'm like, y'all had it. But it's a 3.5. It's above average Sauvignon to me for a Sauvignon Blanc. Like if I was gonna do it against something else. But I'm starting to learn as we continue doing this to judge the wine type by the wine type and not like, well, let me compare it to a Chardonnay because it's not a Chardonnay. Or like, compare it to a Mondome. It's not necessarily a Mondome. So with it being a Sauvignon Blanc, it's actually one of the best I've had. I would say this is above average. Like I say, I normally put a Sauvignon in the 2s. This is a 3.5 to me. It's slightly above average. I would get this again and not mind like sharing them.
Okay.
The man on the couch.
Hey, look, all I'm going to say is that's how much is left.
I saw that when you all put it back. I said,
this
underfilling.
This was warm.
It was warm.
I don't drink white wine warm. It's not good warm. Red wine, after it's decanted, it's good. It has you can taste the notes in it. This has a strong flavor. It is a good flavor. It's subtle with a bite.
It would be good chilled though.
It would definitely be good chilled. I thought about going to get some of the bougie ice. We have some bougie ice.
We still have bougie ice left.
Yeah.
That's why
we got like lemon slice and cube bougie ice.
I know you got some here too. Mm-hmm.
Right, I was gonna get it. But this was actually good warm. It was
room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature. This was really good, and I'm surprised because whites usually aren't Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, any of them. They're usually not.
They're not meant to be.
I give this a 4. We may have to get another bottle. This was good.
Yeah, probably. I feel like it's not gonna last the wine out.
It's not gonna last for the wine out. Rob, you gotta get this.
Clos du Bois. It'll be on the table.
We'll have a
full on the 20, because it's not last Saturday this month. It's 4th the 23rd.
Third, yep.
Oh, it's my mommy's birthday.
Is it really?
Oh, we got the wine out on mommy's birthday.
Well, she might not be here.
Oh,
where's she going?
California.
That's where this wine is from.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
It's a sign.
Yeah, their anniversary is on the 26th. So with that being a weekend, they'll probably leave that Friday, and so they won't be here. But it's okay. I'll just tell her happy birthday. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. For my Riesling, important. It says, each harvest, Starling bird flock to the gentle rolling hills of the Somebody's Valley. I'm not even about to sit here and pretend I'm going to pronounce that word. Hoping to taste a ripe golden green Riesling grapes of the valley's most celebrated vine. Fresh citrus and pear aromas lead to a fruity mid palate with crisp acid. Come on, say the word.
Acidity.
Yeah, because I always mess that word up. And an elegant finish. Enjoy with light meals or simply on its own. It is closer to the sweeter side according to their scale, which I don't disagree. And alcohol by volume is 9.5, so it's not a lot. This, to me, is a good replacement wine of Thatch's.
What is it?
A Riesling.
Oh, it's a Riesling. Okay.
So it's not as it's sweet, but it's not super sweet. Now that I will give you. This is also room temperature because I forgot to put in the refrigerator this morning. I really did. It was sitting on my little display the whole time. I was like, ooh, I should put that in the refrigerator. This would definitely be better chilled. But this is something that it's simple. I will say that. This is a very simple Riesling. And that's why I said it's a good replacement for thought juice. It's slightly more sophisticated, I guess. But it's very, and I say that because of its simplicity. It is crisp. It does have, you do taste the pear. You do taste, I taste a little bit of like a green apple as well. I know they didn't mention that in the description, but I kind of taste that as well. It is mild on the palate. You do the acid. Mm-hmm.
The acidity.
Mm-hmm. That part. It's still, I don't know what it is about me and that word. We do not get along. You can taste it. It's not heavy. Like, it's not like, oh, girl, like it's not your Chardonnay, the dry one. But it's mildly in the back of your throat. Just ever so slightly. This one is from Germany. It's a product of Germany. Ooh. I enjoyed this. This, as far as Rieslings in itself go, would be a good 4. Like a solid 4. This is something that, like, I can see, this is a good come home. I don't want something like sweet, but I don't want something strong. Oh, it's just been I just want a glass. Like, this to me is an everyday glass. Like, oh, I just want something. And clearly you won't get wasted without drinking the entire bottle.
What's the
maybe 9.5.
Oh yeah, no.
That's light.
That's light.
It's real light. So
Okay.
that's what I was like. That's what I said. It's really light. It's one of these. Oh, okay. I just want something to sip on. This is a good summer wine. Great summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I'm very impressed. I was a little nervous because it was over there with the bare feet.
Oh. Lisa, Stella. It wasn't with Stella.
It wasn't anything. I'm gonna tell you now. If you're at the wine store, if you are beside Stella, unless I know who you are, I probably won't pick you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
If there's more than 3 different types, I probably won't pick you because I'm going to relate you to Stella. I'm just saying. Menage a Trois got lucky.
Stella.
Menage a Trois, y'all got lucky because the husband picked y'all up. So. And that's the only reason why I know which.
Man, I got you because listen, I was looking for a Kendall Jackson when I went in there. Because you came with Mondavi last week, so I was like, I'm looking for Kendall, but I was looking for. They had a low calorie Chardonnay, and but I didn't do it. They also had an unoaked Chardonnay.
Unoaked.
But that's what I like about Chardonnay is the oaky, so I said I couldn't do it. So I will say y'all next week I got a buttery Chardonnay.
Okay. I don't know what I have next week. I have to pick something. I'll go pick something random from out the store next week, and I don't know what it is. So who knows? We shall see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode. We'd like to thank our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful family member who joins us all the time, Mr. Marshall.
The man on the couch.
The man on the couch. The man on the couch for joining us today and being a slight spokesperson for a small percentage of men out there today. Be sure you all join us each and every Wednesday for more laughs, more fun, and of course, more wine. Follow us on Instagram at a little something, the number 2 wine about ALS2WA. My brain went like this. It was throwing up gang signs. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know if you had any of these wines or if you have any other suggestions. Or let us know if you dealt with somebody like this. And what was your response? Or what would your response be if you encountered someone like this? And last but not least, remember, as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.
Or See y'all next week.